Today is June 30th, and amazingly, we have windows and doors in as of yesterday, and I'm on the second floor, and today the electrician was here, and he'll finish up his rough electrical tomorrow, but he's got a lot of it done already. That is going to be the closet for the washer and dryer. It's going to sit on a 16-inch shelf. Probably have some drawers in it. They'll have French doors on it there'll have to be some louvers or something for allowing the heat to get out. But what we ended up doing here is we have the 2x6 exterior stud wall, and then so we didn't have the water lines in the exterior wall, which wouldn't have been the end of the world, but just wanted a cleaner section there. We ended up building a 2x4 wall so that this section of the stud will be the top of the pretty much lines up with the top of the washing machine, washer and dryer. There'll be a shelf over that. That's a horrible insulation duct tape job. I have to zip tie all that yet. They're providing an extra outlet box for me, even though we technically don't need that because the washer plugs into the dryer, or vice versa. I can never remember. This was what that hole is from the plumber. They originally had the the water pipe going through there and surface mounted on the 2x4 wall. So they fixed that for us, and that'll be just covered up by the drawer anyway. Unfortunately, we should have done a 2x4 wall behind the toilet so that drain wasn't in there, but that's not the end of the world. And I've got most of the water pipes insulated, mainly just not at the, there's where the vanity will be. They don't have it at the, in the basement where they have to connect it all together. But we got the Kohler, I think it's the Sonata, shower and tub enclosure, and isn't this great? There's no seam, it's all just one entire unit, and very just simple, low profile tub and shower, and got the low flow water fitting for the shower, which I'm excited about. For the lighting upstairs, we have the only openings in the second floor space that we've so diligently Persilco joint and seam filled all the joints. The only openings are for 3 ceiling fans, because we love having those in our bedroom and we can't give those up. And we're gonna have a radon mitigation pipe coming up through here, so they're gonna have to reroute this wire coming through this stud. So it's gonna be coming up through these 2 studs. This is a 2x6 wall. So that pipe still needs to come up through the wall, and then they have the 1 wire for the future fan if it's needed. So really excited with how much they got done. I guess going into the bedroom, they did a really nice clean cut around the ceiling fan, so we'll have to joint and seam around all of that, make sure it's all good and airtight. And then I guess maybe I'll talk about the windows here real quick. So these are windows from Wasco. This is the south side, so that's why they're so big. They have a high solar heat gain coefficient to let in a lot of solar heat in the winter. The left side here is fixed and the right side is operable. And so this is a tilt and turn system, which means that you pull the handle to the side, and look how thick that is. That's, I don't know, 3-4 inches thick. And the window opens into the room here. And to take up less room in the room, you can actually tilt this up and pull back. And this is, I think, how we're going to have our windows open most of the time. And look, it allows air through the sides and top, and it doesn't take up space in the room. And the screens, which we haven't placed yet, will be across the, and that's locking it there. Screens will be across the front, so when you open the window entirely, it'll only open 90 degrees because these are in window bucks that are centered. They're centered in the window bucks. So I'll talk about that quickly. The reason we did that is all the blogs and my research that I did, everyone seemed to recommend placing them in the center of the wall to get the best thermal treatment, or I don't know how you say that, the least amount of thermal bridging. Because if I'm a site designer, so when I think of a grading plan, I think of contours, and the contours get really tight at the window, so they widen out to either side so it's evenly distributed, and has the best profile of all of them. So that's why we did it that way. And we've got the Prosoco, I should say, joint and seam is that pink stuff you can kind of see in the corner here. We did that first, and then over top of that we did the red stuff, which is the Fast Flash, and that's across the entire window buck. On top, on the outside of this window, we will have metal flashing pitched away. That'll be sealed at the top with the Prosoco Fast Flash as well, so water won't be getting behind it. With the little drip edge, I guess, that will shed the water off of here. I should also note, when we built this window buck, it's 3/4 inch OSB, and the bottom actually has 2 layers. So the top layer, I think it was about for 6 inches, was flat, and then we've got, I think it was an 8-inch wide piece of cedar siding, which doesn't provide much pitch. We should have probably done more, but it's sloped away from the window so that there's positive drainage. So in the event that the rain does come into this window cavity, it will still, if it comes across the window, we'll have air dam on the inside and the outside of the window, which is part of the Prosoco R-Guard series, and then with backer rod and insulation in between, and then it'll flow across that air dam, and then out the window cavity. So we will, since this is centered in the space, the screws for supporting these windows, like this one is in the 2x6 wall, so that's not an issue. Any screws that may happen to be outside of the 2x6 wall, we'll just probably clip off the top and do R-Guard Fast Flash over that, just to make sure that's not a weak point that water can get in this window buck from the outside. So those are the windows. I'll take you downstairs now.